Welcome back to Galley Gourmet. I'm here with Chef Joseph. We're on Motor Yacht Freedom on the top deck of this amazing boat. And we've got the fish that you've just seasoned, and we're going to, or you are actually, I'm going to enjoy watching you.
Right.
You're going to grill.
Yeah, so just some fresh local wahoo. And I'm just going to throw a little bit of kosher salt on here. You don't want to over-season it. It's a white fish, so it's really easy to over-season this stuff.
Would you say that as far as fishiness goes, it's a fairly mild fish?
Very mild, yeah. Very mild fish, yeah. Very mild.
And a lovely texture to it.
Yeah, it has that nice meaty texture to it. It's one of those fish that if you overcook it, it dries out really fast. So this is definitely one of those fish that is recommended. Like, don't cook it more than medium rare. I like it on the rare. I like it definitely on the rare side, and that's usually what I recommend to our guests.
Because once you've taken it off, of course, it continues to cook.
Correct.
On the plate. Yeah. This is a fantastic grill setup up here.
Yeah, it's nice. And like I said, I've got the rotisserie attachment for it too, so I can throw like half a dozen game hens on here at a time, or a couple of chickens and stuff. And if the guests are up here sunbathing and hanging out in the hot tub,
you torment them.
Oh, absolutely. They love it. They can't wait till mealtime. So that usually works pretty well.
That's fantastic. Now, how long would you cook it on each side?
Maybe 2 minutes on each side, I would say. And it's also really important to let the fish come to room temperature before you cook it, especially when it's something that you want to cook on the rare side. You still want it tepid in the center. Now, if it's ice cold, if you just pull it out of the fridge and then you throw it on the grill, it's going to be cooked on the outside and cold in the center.
Sure.
And we want to obviously avoid that.
An even temperature throughout.
Correct.
Right. Okay. So we'll take a quick break and then we'll come back and see how this fish is going.
What is it that makes a secret worth keeping? Is it when you discover it for yourself? Or when someone special shares it with you? Sometimes it's the little treasures that no one else knows. The British Virgin Islands. Let's keep this to ourselves. For more secrets, visit bvitourism.com.
Welcome back to the galley of Motor Yacht Freedom. 1 minute we're upstairs, now we're down.
I know, right? The air conditioning is a little bit nicer.
Oh, it's lovely. And look at this beautiful fish. That's from being on the grill, and I love the markings on here. Absolutely gorgeous. Beautiful. Now I can see you've got butter and shallots in here. What's going to happen with this?
So just a little bit of butter and freshly minced shallots. We're going to saute this up a little bit. We're going to throw in our French green beans, just a little bit of kosher salt, a fresh ground black pepper, and that's going to kind of go on the base of the dish. So we're just going to throw this on the stove here.
Now I can see that you've got an electric stove top. Why electric and not propane?
It's just because we're indoors. Like I would imagine that has something to do with fire hazard, and so this is actually induction, which is really nice. It doesn't put out heat until the pan is actually on the surface itself, and it's just even. It's efficient. If I had my way, I would love to have a gas range, but I'm not sure of too many motor yachts that have gas ranges, unfortunately. So you're kind of held, with regulations and things like that that Coast Guard and whatnot allow you to have. So
absolutely.
So, but this is the first induction range that I've ever worked on. But it works well. Like, I've gotten used to it. The temperatures and all that stuff, and with gas you can see it, how high the flame is. With this, a little bit more finesse, but once you get used to it, it's just
easy.
Fine. Yeah,
like baking a cake.
Yeah. So we're just gonna throw these in.
Now, how long roughly would you saute them in the pan for?
Briefly. It's one of those things where I like to cook something like this as little as possible. I still want it to have some crunch. I want them to be nice and warm, obviously. So just maybe a couple of minutes in the pan. And then once again, it's all about individual preference, kind of just how long you like your vegetables cooked. obviously the longer that you cook something, in regards to this, you're gonna diminish the nutritional value that it has. So we just want to cook it long enough.
And I'm guessing this is something that you do obviously just prior to plating up.
Correct.
It's not something you want to do in advance for people at home. You're going to lose that lovely green color.
Exactly.
And
a lot of the reason that people eat vegetables is for the nutrition too.
Yes.
And so we want to really be able to maintain that and hold true to the ingredient that we're putting on the plate.
Absolutely. So. On the home stretch to this, and my mouth is going nuts with the smell, and I can just taste this food already. It looks like it's going to be amazing.
It should be. Let's hope so anyway, right?
I have no doubt.
You'll be the judge on this one. So
I will.
You'll be the judge. Okay, so we've got everything done. We've got our parsnip puree here. We've got our corn and cherry tomato salad, and then our grilled wahoo. We've got our French green beans back here that have just finished sautéing, and we've got a little bit of fresh basil oil. And this is just blanched basil that I've pureed with a little bit of grapeseed oil, so a neutral flavored oil, because we just want that bright pop from the fresh basil. It's going to go great with the fresh salad and the fish.
Just a quick question. If someone has made this, roughly how long would that keep if you refrigerated it?
If you refrigerated it, it could probably about a week, I think, is about as long as I would keep it. You don't really need that much basil. I think I had 2 small little bunches of basil that I used. I blanched it, so boiling water, and then into an ice bath to stop the cooking, and wring it out, get all the moisture out of it, and then just into a blender with about a half a cup of grapeseed oil.
Right.
And then I just puree it until it purees really nice.
Yeah.
And then I pass it through chinois, so a really fine mesh strainer. You can use cheesecloth.
Muslin or something.
Cheesecloth is relatively accessible in grocery stores around here. Obviously, like if you cook at home a lot, I can't stress how important having something like a chinois is in your kitchen. It's something that I use probably every day.
That's great. That's good for people to know.
And you can use it for anything from like pressing purees through or soups. If you want to make a really beautiful, smooth, consistent soup, press it through a chinois, and it's
fantastic
absolutely
idea.
Beautiful.
Yeah. Well, thank you for that. That's great information. Okay, so first step in this.
So first step is we're going to drop down some of this parsnip puree onto the plate. And you can plate this however you want. It's all about how you want it. You can put a little pile in the center. You can use a smaller spoon, and you can drop it on the bottom of the plate.
I always think it is equal as the talent of producing good food for a chef. Your creativity is an equal balance in being a good chef.
Oh, of course. And like when you put the food in front of your guests, they see it first, and then they smell it, and then they taste it. So the guests are eating with their eyes first.
Yes.
So we obviously want to give it a nice appearance, and that's what separates, I guess, a chef from a cook, when you can really put a nice presentation on the plate. And the guests love that. So we're going to do a little bit of the haricot vert on the plate, and you can, like, it's one of these things, you can put these anywhere you want. I have nice strong fingertips, so it's not really too hot on my hands. It might be for somebody else.
You've got asbestos fingers.
Yeah, so you might want to use, you can use a pair of tongs. It's all right. We won't make fun of you.
No.
So I'm going to put those on there like that.
Beautiful.
Set this aside. Then we're going to just place the fish.
These super yummy pieces of grilled fish. Oh, that is gorgeous.
And then our salad here.
Beautiful. That in itself is already absolutely stunning. The colour.
Nice, fresh, local ingredients.
Beautiful.
You're not going to find better tomatoes.
I just had an out-of-body moment then. I was just being hypnotised by how pretty this looks. And I remembered I'm actually on a TV show.
Yeah, right. So, and then I just like a little basil oil around the dish.
Oh, wow.
Give it a little bit of color, a little bit of flavor.
That is absolutely stunning. Now comes the best part of my job.
Yeah, right?
Yes.
Knife and fork.
Absolutely. Oh, make sure I get a bit of everything on this.
Drum roll, drum roll.
Guys, this is as good as it looks, equally outstanding to taste. Unbelievably amazing. Joseph, you are a maestro in the galley.
Thank you very much.
But the great news is we're not done.
We are not done.
We are going to come back shortly and I'm going to see this amazing dessert.
Yeah, we're going to play with some chocolate.
Right Way Food Markets is one of the most spacious and modern superstores in the Virgin Islands, with the largest selection of fresh foods, wines, beers, and liquors at competitive prices. They even have a provisioning service at just a phone call or click away. While in the British Virgin Islands, you can have your vacation home or yacht provisioned by calling 284-340-5954. Located at Passia Estate in Tortola, British Virgin Islands, Right Way Food Markets is your most favorite grocery store, all at one stop. So call Right Way Food Markets at 284-340-2263 or visit www.rtwbvi.com.
Welcome back to Galley Gourmet with Chef Lisa. We're on Modiot Freedom, and now that the crew have finished chowing down on your amazing entree, we're ready to see this beautiful dessert being put together.
Yeah, we're going to move on to dessert now. So this is the Italian chocolate budino. So in the bowl, we're going to start with 8 ounces of semi-sweet dark chocolate and 6 ounces of unsalted butter, and into a metal bowl, and we're just going to put this onto a double boiler and let it slowly melt together.
Okay.
So in the bottom of this pot, I maybe have about 1.5 inches of water, and we're just going to turn it on to like a medium heat.
Sure.
And let that slowly melt.
Right. And so basically you want it to melt until it's completely melted, then straight.
Yeah, so like all the chocolate melts, all the butter melts, and it creates a nice homogeneous mixture, basically.
Sure.
So.
Well, I can stir that for you if you want to.
Absolutely.
Yeah.
Then we're going to take 6 eggs. So we've got 3 whole eggs and 3 egg yolks. And we're going to dump these into a mixing bowl.
Okay.
And then I've got half a cup of white sugar and 3 tablespoons of flour.
Regular white sugar, caster?
Yeah, just regular white sugar. And 3 tablespoons of all-purpose flour. You can substitute almond meal for it.
That'd be nice.
If you have a gluten allergy,
yes.
If somebody has celiac. So we're just going to dump that in there too. And then just mix these ingredients together, and it'll kind of create almost like a really loose paste, sort of. The reason that we have to do these in separate increments is because your flour will clump if we just added it right to the chocolate mixture, and the sugar wouldn't dissolve. The sugar needs like some liquid actually to dissolve it,
Good to know.
which is in the egg yolk and the whole eggs.
Yes. I think with all the whisking that you do, I wouldn't want to compete with you with a, what's the word I'm looking for?
Oh, arm wrestling.
Arm wrestling.
Yeah. And I do a lot of stuff too, because I have a copper bowl. So like on charter, I'll do soufflés. I'm usually always making some kind of cake, and so they're always sponge cakes typically. So
yes.
I'm having to whip egg whites separately. So instead of using my mixer, I do it all by hand in my copper bowl. And
why do you do that? Why do you prefer? You just think you get a better result at the end with your?
Oh, absolutely.
Yeah.
What the copper does is it adds a negative charge to the proteins in the egg whites, and it allows it to connect another molecule of oxygen. So it makes it way more stable.
Right.
If you took egg whites that were whipped in a copper bowl versus
yes.
egg whites that were whipped in like a stainless steel bowl, you would be able to notice quite a difference actually in the two.
So would that be something that the viewers at home would be worthwhile?
Yeah, if you bake at home a lot,
yeah.
absolutely. Yeah, I highly recommend it. All right, this looks
good.
like that is done. You can just
Okay.
leave that in there. Yeah. Turn that off. So this is all nice and melted together.
Yes.
No more pieces of chocolate, no more chunks of butter. It's all one big happy family in there.
I did a taste test. It's definitely chocolate.
Yeah, right.
Yeah. Oh, that smells amazing.
So now what we're going to do is, if you want to stir that
Yep,
for
sure.
me, we're just going to slowly pour this chocolate mixture in with the eggs and sugar and flour.
Getting a nice thick
Sure we
consistency.
Get it all out of there. All right. Go ahead and pull that whisk on out of there. Just put it into that bowl. Perfect. Let's finish mixing this together.
Would this be something that you do pretty much on most charters?
Yeah, it's easy.
Yeah.
It tastes great. People love chocolate. You can do it with all sorts of different components. You can serve it with fresh fruit sauce. You can serve it with whipped cream. You can make chocolate sauce for it. Candied nuts. It's really versatile in what you can do with it. So the preparation that we're doing with it today isn't, you don't have to stand by it. You can, like I said, you can do it with any other components that you have on hand,
right.
that you choose to use.
Yep.
So we're just we've got our oven preheated to 350. We're just gonna spray and this is just a standard muffin tin. I'm sure most people have these in their houses, or you can pick it up at a local store. Hardware stores usually carry them too. And then I like to use like a ice cream scooper.
That's a great idea.
To portion it out. It can make it a little bit more even.
Uh-huh.
And you're filling these about 3/4 of the way.
Okay. Obviously, if you did it too much, they'd be pouring over the top of the
Yeah,
muffin
it
tray.
will. They will expand a little bit.
Right.
Not a whole lot because we haven't whipped any air
Yeah.
into the mixture at all.
Now, this is an Italian dessert. Have you got a preference for favourite types of cuisine that you personally like to eat when you're not working?
I like everything. I really do. I mean, I enjoy all types of cuisine. I want it prepared properly, though. So, I mean, bad food is bad food, no matter what type of cuisine that you're eating. I do have an affinity for Italian cuisine. I did spend a good amount of time living abroad. And I like the old world aspect of Italian cuisine. But, who taught the Italians to make pasta, or ice cream?
Right.
The Chinese.
Yeah.
So I love everything from around the world. So.
Oh, that's good.
So now that these are filled,
Yep.
we're just going to pop this into the oven. It's going to take about 15 minutes for these to cook off. So let's
Okay.
pop these on in.
So while we're baking these amazing desserts, we'll take a short break and we'll be back soon.
This is my home.
British Virgin Islands Sotheby's International Realty. Local expertise, global exposure. Sotheby's International Realty takes great pride in using our expertise, resources, and global connections to unite extraordinary properties with extraordinary buyers who will cherish them as we do. If you're looking to purchase a home in the islands or even a private island in the Caribbean, look no further than British Virgin Islands Sotheby's International Realty. Call us first at 1-284-494-5700. or 1-284-340-5500, or visit our website, bvisir.com, and let us help you make the BVI your home.
This is my home. This is my home. Where I go.
Welcome back. We're on Modiot Freedom with Chef Joseph, and I can smell a cake.
What is that? What is that aroma?
I know. Ooh, that looks incredible.
So these are the chocolate budino.
Right.
It's best if you can sometimes let these cool a little bit before you unmold them. And if you need to, you can usually use like a butter knife or something and just kind of go around the edges just to be sure that it's
easy
gonna
to get out.
it's gonna unmold properly.
Sure.
So now I'm gonna give these a look here, and And you just, if on a flat surface, you can just flip it over usually and they'll unmold relatively easy. Sometimes you'll get only a couple out at a time, so.
Oh, they look lovely.
You just give the tin a little tap.
Definitely need to have smell-o-vision at some point. The flavour and smell is just incredible.
There we go. All right. So we're going to finish the sauce.
Yes.
That's going to go with these, which is going to be a yuzu lemon sauce.
Right.
Here I've got a little bit of it's a cornstarch slurry. It's just cornstarch, and you just dilute it with just enough water to make a nice, where it looks like milk, essentially.
And you're using that as a thickener for your
Yeah,
sauce.
we're going to thicken our sauce with this, and just so it will be thick enough to coat the back of a spoon. It's called a nappe consistency.
Right.
So to activate the starch for it to actually thicken anything, you have to bring your liquid up to at least 212 degrees. So we're going to bring this up just to a simmer, and then slowly stir. Small amount of the slurry in at a time, as a little bit will go a long ways.
Right. Explain yuzu to people that don't know what it is.
What is?
What the sauce is made from. Explain,
Oh, yeah. Okay, so yuzu is a Japanese citrus. Very similar to a lemon, but it has a lot more residual sugar than a lemon does. It's definitely far more unique than just a straight lemon. I added a little bit of lemon into this just to kind of give it a little bit more brightness because the chocolate's going to be nice and rich.
So if people weren't able to get this particular flavour, they could substitute it with lemon.
You could use lemon. Just lemon juice on its own would be too much. You would definitely have to add sugar to it. You could use something like you could mix orange and grapefruit together because the orange would have obviously enough residual sugar to it. So like you said though, you could use any kind of berries, or you can cook berries down with a little bit of sugar, a little bit of lemon juice, cook it down, puree it, and then use that fancy strainer that everybody should have in their house, a chinois, and press all the seeds out, and just so you have a nice, smooth, consistent sauce.
Okay.
So now that sauce is not too thick, but just thick enough.
Right. Nice smell too.
Yeah, that's beautiful stuff. So we have a local pineapple here that we're going to utilize. I'm just going to do like a small dice of this.
Okay.
Just to kind of sprinkle around the plate a little bit.
And is some of this something that you sort of interpreted into the recipe yourself, or is it strictly as the traditional recipe? Obviously, the Japanese parts.
No, just the chocolate is just the only traditional
Right.
aspect of this dessert. Like I said, it's really versatile, and it can be served with a variety of things, like anything from chocolate sauce to fresh made homemade whipped cream. Or chocolate sauces, things like that.
Right.
And it's, what does chocolate go good with? Chocolate, obviously, everybody knows chocolate goes good with citrus.
Yes.
So instead of just using like an orange
Yeah.
sauce or something like that, like we're gonna go the extra mile. We're gonna take something that people are somewhat familiar with, but still exotic at the same time.
Right. So you're getting that pineapple and dicing it fairly small pieces?
Yeah. That way they can get like a bite of pineapple with each bite of the cake.
Uh-huh. Well, this is the perfect accompaniment in a temperature here in the Caribbean.
Mm-hmm. And this will help, like I said, like the cake is really rich. Like this will kind of help, keep it light on the palate at the same time. So just gonna take a little bit of this sauce.
Right.
Just a couple of spoonfuls, just right down on the bottom of the plate.
Now, with any of the excess sauce, again, do you think roughly a week that would last refrigerated, or longer?
And you could even refreeze it if you wanted to, and save it for another later use. The other thing you could use too is like before you add any kind of cornstarch to it, You could maybe reserve half of it, use it for a cocktail. Put it in a mojito. Put it in a nice rum cocktail.
Or gelato.
Yeah, exactly.
Yeah.
So makes great sorbets.
Yeah.
So you can kind of see like the center of this is still like nice and soft.
Yes.
Nice and gooey. Like you don't want it fully cooked. The exterior is nice and set, but the interior is still going to be nice and soft.
Oh, it looks lovely.
We're just going to put these right into the middle of the plate.
Beautiful.
And then got a little chocolate sorbet that we made ahead of time.
Oh,
and
gosh.
This is really simple sorbet. It's a pint of water, 10 ounces of sugar. Combine those, bring them to a boil so it's completely dissolved. Mm-hmm. Chill it, and then you take 6 ounces of semi-sweet chocolate.
Yes.
Melt it completely, and let that come back, cool down to room temperature. Combine the ingredients, stir them together, and then put them in your ice cream maker at home. I've got a nice little gelato machine that I use here on board. You can use the standard ones with the bucket that you put the ice and the rock salt around the outside, and then just churn it for, it could take, depending on how chilled the mixture is, it could take anywhere from 30 minutes to 45 minutes, roughly. So then,
obviously a great thing to do in advance.
Yeah, and this is something that you can, I made this last night.
Right.
And as long as you take proper care of it, and you keep it chilled in your freezer, it'll stay indefinitely.
Until the crew get into it.
Yeah, exactly, right? Yeah, until it, and then you come to work and hey, where's my chocolate sorbet at? So.
You're wanting an ice cream scoop?
No, actually, we're gonna just use a spoon on this one.
Very nice.
So, you can use an ice cream scoop, obviously. I'm gonna use my stainless spoon.
Beautiful. Oh dear, the mouth's watering like crazy all over again. That looks so beautiful.
And then we're just going to take some of this fresh pineapple.
Wow. Joseph, I think you've just done it again.
Voila.
Okay, I'm not going to wait because this is
No, it's going to melt. You got to go now. You got to live in the moment.
Absolutely. Make sure I get some of this beautiful sauce as well. Wow. Wow. They're going to have to fight me for this one.
Yeah, right? There you go. There you go.
Joseph, I cannot thank you enough for being on the show today. You're obviously extremely talented. People coming to the British Virgin Islands or anywhere in the Caribbean need to come on Motor Yacht Freedom and get to taste your amazing cuisine. You are a knockout.
We aim to please. We aim to please.